Hello, internet world. It's me once again. And I know what you might be thinking. How come you're wearing this? I know it doesn't look professional for a video like this. And you might be saying too, look, they look kind of too big on you. Well, it's been a while since I've had pajamas. And I like them. They're comfortable. They're nice. And, actually, if you go to Walmart and you go into... Forget about that. Let's talk about the main topic at hand. How about we call this the late night pajama hour, where we talk about things you only talk about in the wee hours of the morning, even though it's like what time now? 12:35 in the morning. Okay, so it's not that late. So anyway, for those who keep track of my videos, you'll notice that I don't make a lot of videos in a short amount of time. Sorry for those who want to see stuff from me, but I've been doing this for a while. Anyway, for those who keep track of things related to music, you will take note that a while back I talked about the Fender guitar, and it was a Pacific guitar, but I basically gave a general impression of what my feelings about the Fender guitar, and I said good things about it. So now I want to talk about the next step from the guitar, and that is the bass. And here I want to talk about... Oh, this thing's kind of heavy. It's kind of big. Hold on. Wow. Here it is, yet again, another Fender treasure. This is the Fender American Standard bass. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is no longer made as far as I'm concerned. As far as I know, sorry. If you go on different web pages, they will say that they do not carry them anymore. They are discontinued. And so this here, I don't know if you call this a rare item or not, but this is actually a pretty nice piece of musical equipment here. Before I got this, I had a $300 Fender bass that was made in Mexico, and I gave that to a cousin of mine. And this was close to $1,000. And so there's a big difference between this and the Mexican one. And as my dad said, once you get to 1,000, that's when you know you are getting a good quality instrument that was made in America. And plus, you get what you paid for. So when you talk about something like this and compare that to, say, a bass guitar that was like $300, when I would play that $300 bass guitar, it was tough to get the right sound for the bassy parts to come out right. And I always had a struggle and trouble trying to work with that $300 bass guitar. But now this does what you want to do with it, but there is a little bit of there's a bit of a tricky side to this because, well, let me get into the details. This right here, this, come on, finger, work with me, and this, the knobs here, this was one of the things that attracted me to this guitar here, because I thought you can probably get a lot of different variety of sounds from the guitar with all these knobs and switches. And what these do, here we go. As you can see, these knobs right here, you got your tone control and you got your volume control. Now, this here is your tone control. Now, if you're going to actually use this, the best way to have it is that if you're looking down on your guitar, this should be at the 6 a.m. position. So 6 o'clock should be the proper way to have this, because I found it hard when you would try to play this, and it's just hard to get the tone right on this thing here. And then here you have the volume, which isn't really much of a problem because this is not as tough to figure out and to work with like you do the tone control over here. Now you have these switches here which change the frequency. You can get like a a lo-fi sound, depending on how you switch this thing off and on. You get a much more higher sound, you get a much more punchy sound. Those are what those triggers are for. And then you have this part here, which actually gives you a boost. This is actually a boost control. And then you just switch it on like this. And then you have the knobs here to control your volume and your tone. I thought this was really going to give you a dramatic change when you play with your guitar. But I think if you have a really good, sophisticated amp and you have a lot of features on your amp, then you don't really need that boost control. But if you want to be a little bit crazy, you want a little boom, boom, ba boom, then you just click on that, and that's going to give you a very loud sound. And I like the way how this plays. Now, if you saw my other video about the Fender guitar, the other Fender guitar I talked about how it was nice to actually move your hand throughout the fret, and that you can do this really nice on this too. And then you can't believe how this thing's, you gotta make room for it. It's so big. And then you have your tuners up here. And I got this one in red because they say if you have a red instrument, it really looks nice, and you should have one in your collection, if you have a collection, that is. So, yeah, that looks really nice. If there was a pet peeve I have about this guitar, my only concern is, and other people have pointed this out too, when you're playing up here on the top part here of the first and second fret on the bottom string, this can be a little bit frustrating because when you play this, it can be a little bit fuzzy. So when you play the first two frets on the bottom string, it can get kind of fuzzy. And, you know, everything else, all the other strings sound fine, but not the bottom one. So my recommendation is, if you're going to play the bottom string on those two frets, make sure that you play on this part here of the guitar, so that way the buzz sound won't be as strong as it would be if you were playing on any other part of the guitar here when plucking the strings. So just pluck around here instead of here, and you have a better sound from the guitar. So that's it for now, and thank you again for watching another show and tell. And for anyone out there who is a bass player and you want to get this guitar, well, you can't because they don't make them anymore. But definitely, if you want a really good bass guitar, make sure that you check out the guitars that are made by Fender, because I can tell after playing this for a while that this was something that fit my bill. And I can tell you now, I can't think of, people are always wanting different sounds because different guitars offer different varieties of sounds. But for me, I think this is probably the only bass guitar I'll probably stick with for the rest of my life. And I know there's different ones too. You have like a Rickenbacker one, which gives you that crazy, if you rockin', blow the walls off the roof kind of sound. Craziest guitar, bass guitar that you can probably get out there. But for me, I think this one here is the one that suits best for me, because again, one of the main features about it is that you can actually get all those different sounds that you want from different genres and different sounds and styles. So for me, variety is a key factor when playing. So that's my show and tell for tonight. And again, this was the Midnight Pajama Hour, and I'll see you guys later. So good night.